All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to our channel. You're with Bran and Jess today. Hello, Jess.
Hi.
And as always, we provide you with these insights or energy updates really to help you further along on your soul's evolution, your soul's direction. And yeah, we discuss many things and all through a lens of evolution, of your growth to help you really make those changes and bring the way that you envision your life, the way you want things, the way that you want the life to be, your life to be true to you. To materialize that, to help bring that vision to life. So yes, if you are new here, welcome. And don't forget to hit the like button or the subscribe button, and that helps us get our message out there. And then it also helps you as little reminders when we do pop on, right? Oh God, this has been quite the week already.
It has.
Oh my goodness. I'm sure you guys are all feeling it. We've just went through quite a big eclipse season, and we're still not really out of it, as the energy will kind of linger on for a couple of days, couple of weeks, I would say even. And yeah, so we had our solar eclipse on the 25th of October, and we just had our full lunar eclipse yesterday, which was November 8th. So, how are you feeling, Jess? And everybody, that are watching, let us know in the comments if you can relate to anything we're kind of discussing. Obviously, we feel it at all different levels, but we're here today. We're just going to talk about some main themes and what's coming up this week.
Yeah, so I would say I have definitely noticed a lot of repeating patterns, things coming up that, I felt like I had already worked through, or uh just things resurfacing. But it's interesting because when we know we're in eclipse season, we know.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I do think it makes it easier to step back and be the observer. And yeah, it's still tough sometimes, but I think it just brings this awareness in of being able to observe what's going on, because I've had repeating stuff come up around finances, career, relationships. Those seem to be the top ones, and and a lot of it comes back to how I value myself. So it's been interesting. I feel like I've been able to clear and release a lot too throughout the last couple weeks, and now that we're kind of, coming to the end, we're not quite out of it, but I'm just like, okay, like what can I do to take care of myself? Am I drinking enough water? Things like that. So that's how I've been feeling.
Yeah, the very basic stuff as well. Like Taurus is all about our basic survival instincts, your water, your food, your shelter, how you nourish yourself. And what Justice described as a way of she's feeling the energies is actually right on point with exactly the themes that we don't have to get into today, all in detail astrologically, because I feel sometimes the astrology, if you want to learn more about it, that's great, and we might, Jess and I are discussing about workshops and all that, where we can go in more detail. But really, what we do here and what Jess and I provide you as well is like the emotion, the emotions that we move through on this growth journey we're on. So I won't always talk in depth about the astrology, but of course, I'm going to put it in there a little bit. But yeah, like, she mentioned, well, Jess, you mentioned self value, how you value yourself. Those are all Taurus themes as well. And that's what we just, experienced yesterday, was a lot of the Taurus themes. And then on opposite of that is all the Scorpio themes, very deep rooted emotional attachments coming to light, to be exposed. So I really feel that this week as we are feeling the aftermath of this eclipse or this eclipse season, it's really a time to face ourselves. So I feel that what you've just described, just um, is like a time of facing yourself. And like you said, you're observing, and I've been doing a lot of observing as well. So observing those patterns, observing what's coming up, observing how you're feeling, and not necessarily trying to get rid of it, because that's the point. Everything in Scorpio is the deep emotional, unconscious, subconscious coming up, and it really feels uncomfortable. Have you been feeling uncomfortable in the last few days? Maybe that's an understatement. I don't
Yes,
know. But
so uncomfortable. And for me, it's like I'm connected enough and been doing this long enough. And I'm sure you can relate, and many of you who are watching can relate. Like when you've been doing this work, this inner work long enough, like those uncomfortable feelings, you start to really be able to tune into them, right? Like how do like the way your body does it, like because for me, like I get like this nauseous feeling in my
I feel it
gut, and I'm
now.
like, I'm not actually nauseous, like I am, but I know exactly what the uncomfortableness, and like I'm able to connect to it, but it actually helps me to move through it. So I know many of you watching probably have similar, it could be a totally different body symptom, but we start to really listen to our body and those uncomfortable feelings, but it's to help us, it really is.
Exactly. And it reminds me, just to let you guys know watching, and especially if you're new here, like that's a part of the process Jess and I move you through in our community, in our membership. Um, because it is a process, and it's a process that we want to move through consciously. And it is uncomfortable, but I feel when we have the proper support and the space held, it makes it much easier. I know, like we offer different things in that membership, where like there's attunements, there's energy transmissions, there's all kinds of things we offer in there. And when we show up to provide these weeklies, or wherever we show up, regardless if that's in our private Facebook group that you can find below here, on TikTok, we're on there, you can find us there. Wherever we show up, we're in our realness, because I'm telling you, I was so uncomfortable giving the attunement yesterday. I am also moving through this energy. I mean, it doesn't matter what phase we're in our growth and our evolution. We're all feeling this. It's just, yes, maybe they're at different levels, fine. But yeah, I think it's really about showing up in our authenticity and moving through it together. And I feel that's very supportive. So I love that we can just be real, with each other, and with the people we're working with or interacting with, regardless of where we're showing up, including here, and yeah, so the discomfort also, I believe, is coming from, yes, those Scorpio energies, where Scorpio 8th house Pluto is all the same in evolutionary astrology, and it's about our evolution, and it's about our deepest attachments, and our fears, our vulnerabilities, our insecurities. These are all things I felt deeply this week. I've personally been moving through a lot of insecurities, and of course that will also depend on your personal birth chart. But here, of course, it's a general reading of energy, so just take what resonates. But Scorpio and Taurus are fixed energy, and they don't want to budge. They don't want to budge. It's very fixed energy. It's very comfort zone energy. So a lot of you, including us too, are feeling that we are being asked to step out of our comfort zones by facing this truth, by facing ourselves. And that's why I feel this week will be revealing a lot of that truth to you. It's like maybe you're already faced with that truth, and maybe you've been trying to suppress it, and that uncomfortableness, it won't let you suppress it, basically. So I highly encourage you to work with this energy. The way to work with this energy this week is to face yourself. And whatever way you do that, we're all different. Like Jess has her ways of dealing with that discomfort, so do I. But I know personally for me, I need to like talk about it and self-validate, what I'm moving through. And I do that, of course, with someone I can trust, with Jess, or because sometimes we can feel, I don't know about you, Jess, and I'm sure too, and you guys watching, a lot of vulnerability came up this week or is going to continue to come up. It's like the really smushy parts of ourselves are coming up, to be revealed and to be looked at and to be moved through. And basically, it is a big time in our personal evolution and our collective evolution as we look at that too. But here we discuss more around our personal evolution. But yeah. So intense things are being brought into focus. And I feel with those Taurus energies, and that's like what I'd like to discuss a little bit more, in this video, is those Taurus energies. And we have the North Node in Taurus. We have Uranus moving through Taurus that came into a direct conjunction with the moon. And it left a signature inside myself anyways of a lot of anxiety and a lot of stimulation. Uranus is our electrical system. Basically, it's our nervous system, and it's also the higher mind. It's the connection through our brains of that higher intelligence, that cosmic intelligence. And what Uranus wants to do is come and disrupt the patterns. It's disruptive energy, and it doesn't mean like we have to be fearful of that, but it can be shaking things up. I know I felt a lot of anxiety. I've shared that with our community as well. But what it is doing in Taurus, basically, in this conjunction with the moon, is really showing us, okay, well, it's disrupting things for us to come to this truth that we're talking about, and that you'll see surface this week. But like it wants us to think, okay, what are your deepest values? What are you valuing right now? How are you taking care of your need? What do you need right now in order to survive? And that's the thing. It's like kind of getting out of survival mode and coming into thriving mode, right? And putting things into place so that we can feel self-reliant, self-sufficient, that we can feel into our self-worth, our self-love, and really put things into place of what we need now. Yeah, and it feels like, as we say this, because we're conditioned to always think and people please, but those are things that we're letting go of. Like Taurus is also codependency, and how we share our energy actually very toxically sometimes. So as Jess mentioned at the beginning, relationships, money, and I forget what the other thing you said, relationship, money, career are coming up. Yeah. And Taurus is also like what we do. It is also around our work as well. Like we have Taurus, we have Capricorn that we look around our work in Virgo, but those are all things surfacing up. And so we can see some really big changes on the horizon, and these changes are starting to take shape right now, like in the next week, in the next weeks, in the next months. This is a process, remember, it doesn't happen necessarily overnight, but with that Uranus energy, it's sudden insight, it's shake up, it's disruption. It's like, okay, what is coming to light? So yeah, as I share that, Jess, what's kind of coming up for you as to like feeling into that? Like Taurus wants us to simplify. So I feel that the ground shaking up underneath us is also telling you, simplify your life right now. Where are you? Like it's a complete refocusing. That's what I'm sensing.
Yeah, so yes, I definitely feel that too. And I think along with what you shared, it's like I feel like some of us, like there's things that you've kind of just been ignoring or sweeping under the rug, or you're like, oh, I'll face that later. I'll figure that out later. And I feel like we're being asked to like face it now. Like if you actually want the change, stop putting it off. Don't put it off anymore. Like what is it you need to be honest with yourself about, or a conversation you need to have with someone?
Yeah, Mercury is in Scorpio, and that's conversation,
Yeah.
conversation and speaking the
So
truth, right?
yeah, and I feel like it is connected to that energy of being able to get out of survival mode and being able to thrive. It's like what do you actually want, you know? So I feel like, yeah, I feel like that's another, you know, what else is coming to me around that?
Yeah, yeah, and I feel that like along with that codependency and that people pleasing and that like, yeah, like we're just conditioned in
Yes.
that and we're not used to thinking about ourselves. And Taurus is an energy about the self. And it's taking care of yourself and it's self-love and it's self-care to the deepest level. And I feel that that's something we're you know, and it's out there everywhere, right? It's even like overrated somehow sometimes, self-care or the talk of self-care, but no, really, it's truly like, how are you anchoring in really, really taking care of yourself to the deepest fundamental levels of what you need to thrive and take care of yourself? And yeah, it can feel narcissistic. It can feel like self-focused or self-absorbed or all those, you know, connotations that societal pressures or whatever put on us. But no, like, and we can probably see it in your, you can see it in your environment. You can see people are starting more and more to value themselves. So our value is being up leveled, you know, in a way. And it's like, no, I'm not going to take this anymore. Or no, I don't want to be a part of this work environment anymore. Or no, I don't want to be part of these types of relationships anymore. Or no, I don't want to share my energy this way. So I feel that that's what's coming up a lot this week is like revelations. And it depends. It'll all be different for everybody. Some of them it'll be fast moving, like complete changes, and some of the changes will be more of a little process here, but it's definitely connected to how you're valuing yourself and how you're seeing yourself. And I think those themes are all coming up within the next week as well. You know, we discuss weekly, so we'll be on next week to chat a little bit
Yeah.
more. I think we're close to ending this video, but um just so you know, Venus is in Scorpio as well. Venus and Mercury are both in Scorpio and they're moving fast. They'll be connecting in Sagittarius. I don't know the exact dates, but it doesn't matter. We'll be talking about that more next week. The sun is still in Scorpio. So we're still in those Scorpio themes. So it still kind of feels heavy in a lot of those things. But, you know, we'll be entering Sagittarius season soon as well. So we'll be discussing more about that. And we do have something that is not so much astrology, but we're coming into the 1111 portal. So maybe that's what we'll end on today, because I feel it's quite significant. And I was kind of contemplating on that this morning, is how I feel with the 1111 and how you know how we see those angel numbers. And I'm sure
Mhm.
you know they come up for you as you're watching here. You know, let us know if you see them or what's the one that's recurring that you see. But 1111 I think is one that we often all see. And here we are in this portal, and kind of what I'm picking up on here is for those of us, and I don't want to like leave anybody out. It can be for anyone, whoever's watching this, but for those of us who are consciously really moving through this ascension process or evolution process or this process of growth, I think what's happening here with the portal, it's really moving us into more of our purpose and more in alignment with kind of that self-value. So it's about this other kind of timeline or something. It's understanding why you're here and how you are meant to get up and lead. So if you identify as a path paver, we talk about that here on this channel. We talk about it, you know, on a lot of our community, the path paver, the way shower, the new paradigm builder. If you identify with this type of language, and I don't want to put like, you know, always just like a box around you, because there's really no box for us, you know. But you know, you're an innovative, you're creative, you want to do things on your own terms. I think this is a really cool energy for us to really feel into and step into more of our purpose and know that there's not just one way of doing things, and it's about really connecting to what is right for you, but it has to be in alignment with your self-value. What are you kind of picking up on? And I think 12:12 on the clock on mine anyway. And I think
Is
we'll
it?
leave it at that.
Yes, I know. I saw 11:11 right before bed last night. So
Nice. Love it.
I love it because it just reminds me that like I'm supported and I'm on track, and I just wanted to share too, with those of you who, if you feel like you don't see the numbers or you don't see the signs, I just want to remind you that you need to ask the universe or your angels or your divine team, your higher self, whoever, just say, send me some signs, please. You know, ask, and you will receive those signs. And it may not be numbers for everyone. I do get a lot of numbers. So, but yeah, I think 1111 portal is, yeah, I actually totally forgot about that till you mentioned it.
Yeah,
So I'm like,
yeah.
oh yeah.
I feel
Is
it's
it
a
really
conjunction.
already? I know you said we're going to close with 1111. I'm like, why? That's so far away. Oh, wait, no, it is not far away.
Yeah,
Where
it's
is
just around the
November going?
corner. Yeah, and a couple days here. So yeah, I just feel that the energy is really timely with what we're kind of like this full moon was highlighting. So anyway, all that to say, it's a really big mix bag of energy. There's a big tension in the air because all this, what's happening right now, where the planets are situated, we have a lot of planets in Scorpio, a lot of planets in Taurus that are opposing each other. We have Mars in Gemini. But what's happening here, we have Saturn in Aquarius squaring all this energy, and it was squaring it yesterday, but it's kind of, we're moving away from that square. So I promise the tension will dissipate a little bit, but we are still kind of with, it's a tension energy that is really highly asking us to be responsible with the actions we're ready to take next, to take self-responsibility, and also for what we are contributing to the whole of humanity. Okay, that's Saturn in Aquarius is about the whole, it's about the group. It's about this Aquarian age of how we are meant to show up individually, but in the whole, and how we're connecting to, through all that. So there is a big tension energy. So just know, if you're feeling that, if you're feeling anxious, if you're feeling out of sorts, if you're feeling mixed up or kind of like a little not sure right now, it's because of these energies. So like Jess said at the beginning, this is time to observe, to really feel into yourself, to allow everything that is coming up to come up to the surface, to be felt. Now I know that's not always easy for everybody, so like I said, to like make sure that you're well supported that way. And we would love to have the opportunity to connect with you and support you in that way. And so we are going to end this video by inviting you to click on the link below if you want to connect with us on that deeper level, of support. We are going to continue this conversation actually for our members in the group, where we're just going to give a little guidance for the week. And we have an attunement in there for you, a full moon attunement that was posted yesterday in our membership, and we would love for you to receive that. And it was real. It's well, I'll let you talk about it a little bit actually, if you want to say a
Yeah,
couple words
because I
on
just
it.
watched it. Yes,
Yeah.
I found it to be very supportive and timely. It really helped bring up some things for me that I needed to feel around stepping into more leadership. So I just felt like it was exactly what I needed to hear to move through what I was moving through. So thank you for the attunement, Brandy. It's always very supportive, helps me to actually get present with myself long enough to feel what's needed and to help me move through the energies. So I
Excellent.
always look forward to your attunements, full moon, new moon, every month. So
Yes, and I look
thank
forward to
you.
yours too. And there will be that coming up too, where Jess provides us with a energy transmission guidance, and really a way to really anchor in everything in. Because there's one thing, making sense of the energies, filling it out, embodying it, but it's also like integrating it into our everyday life. And that's where I feel the changes are, the consistent changes we got to make. That's how we kind of like um, really connect to those changes and make them stick, right? Make them stick, those changes that we want.
Yes. And
Because
I
we
feel like
are,
that's what it is.
yeah,
The
yeah,
attunements and energy transmissions that we're providing you with, it helps you to actually stick with what you're moving through and integrate with what you're moving through. So
yeah,
if you need
yeah.
that, let us know.
Exactly, because we're all meant to grow, evolve into, our soul's highest potential, and we're meant to connect with that soul, that soul part of us, because it is the part of us that is that is unconsciously moving us through this human experience. So we want to provide you with more of that connection if you're not already doing so. All right. So with that, we wish you a beautiful week, and we'll see you again next week.
Bye.
Bye.
But keep watching if you're in the membership, right?
Okay, yeah, this is sorry guys, we're kind of still on. Let's do this for a sec, and we're gonna go here. All right, lots of love and flow, and sorry about that. We're going to leave you now.